Your brain doesn't care if it's lying to you. It only cares if you feel safe. But what if that's the very thing that puts you in a dangerous situation? The most dangerous thing about you isn't what you believe. It's why you believe it. Ask someone why they believe in something, and they'll tell you what they're actually afraid of losing. Their identity, their sense of belonging in the community, justification of something they did wrong to avoid guilt and shame. And what's scary is that many people would choose a comfortable lie over an uncomfortable truth every single time. The truth is, we as a human species naturally crave safety because it's an instinct ingrained in us for survival. It's the autopilot of the brain doing exactly what it evolved to do. The goal isn't to fight that instinct, it's to transcend it, to stop running on autopilot long enough to ask the bigger questions. Because when safety becomes the priority over truth, you become easy to manipulate. Anyone who offers comfort, certainty, or a sense of belonging has power over you, even if what they're offering is a lie, a false sense of security. And this isn't a weakness. It's deeply human, and it starts when we were children. A kid in an abusive household will gaslight themselves into thinking they are the problem before they let themselves see their parents as the abuser. The mind will trick itself into believing that the parents are good and the child is the bad one because the child's survival depends on the parent. That's not a flaw, but the nervous system doing its job. The problem is we grow up and never stop being that helpless kid looking for a parental figure. We just swap the parents for a partner, a boss, a belief system, or an authority. Someone above us who we assume knows better. And it doesn't stop at people. We do the same thing with institutions, the news outlet we trust without question, the government we assume has our best interest at heart, the wellness guru or spiritual teacher we hand our discernment over to. So how do we catch ourselves when we are doing that? Here's how you know you're doing it. Notice what happens in your body when someone challenges or questions a belief you hold tightly. Do you feel defensive, angry, or do you feel the urge to shut the conversation down instead of staying in that discomfort and actually thinking about it? Or do you need everyone around you to agree with you and validate your belief so you feel safe again? But the thing is, in situations like this, the group wasn't agreeing with you because it was the truth. The intention behind it wasn't to genuinely seek the truth, but to make sure the belief stays safe. And the belief stays safe as long as nobody questions it or looks at it closely. The real reason why we would desperately want to be right is that some parts of us can't afford to be wrong. This is how echo chambers are formed, how mob mentality and the hive mind take over a group of people. For example, it's how selling, buying, and owning slaves was once the norm, even though it was dehumanizing, inhumane, and backwards. Well, it's still around today, just dressed up differently. Modern day wage slavery exists, and it's normalized. And most people still don't even question it and think that it's normal. Here's another example. It's why slaughterhouses are considered normal too. Sentient beings are treated as commodities, as livestock instead of lives. If people actually saw how animals are treated and killed for food in industrial scale slaughter, most of them would call it cruel. And the moment someone chooses the cruelty-free alternative, they're the ones who gets called crazy, extreme, or too much. And there's a term for that. It's called cognitive dissonance. It's when two things you believe collide with each other and can't both be true at the same time. For example, I am a good person versus I eat animals that were killed in a brutal way. I have freedom versus I spent most of my waking life working for someone else just to survive. The mind can't hold both. So on autopilot, it chooses whatever makes us feel safe and deletes whatever is inconvenient and uncomfortable. We might tell ourselves, the animal didn't really suffer. That's just how factory farming works. Everyone does it and it's normal. This is just what having a job means. It's normal and it's not that deep. Whatever stories or excuses we come up with so that we don't have to admit or face the truth, so that we can feel safe and not think about it. In other words, instead of changing the belief, most people change the story. They tell themselves that this is how it is. This is just how the world works. That slavery is a long time ago and it's not the same now. That the wage that they're paid for their time is freedom. When in reality, it's just a different type of cage. Anything to make the discomfort go away without having to actually confront it. And this is actually good news for people in power with Machiavellian traits who have an agenda. Because this is exactly the blueprint to keep people passive, easy to control, docile, and compliant. You are handing over your power without even realizing it. Choosing truth over safety doesn't feel good in a moment. It feels like grief and uncertainty. Because you're not just admitting that you are wrong. You're admitting that the person you've been for years was built on a false pretense, a distorted, warped belief. Admitting the truth, choosing truth over comfort means losing relationships, losing your place in a community, losing the version of yourself that's liked by everyone and was socially accepted. Sometimes admitting the truth means losing that sense of safety and security because humans are social beings and we depend on each other to feel safe. That temporary uncertainty and grief are the price of truth. And it's exactly why most people are resistant to challenging their beliefs. So what now? What can we do about it? When we become aware of our programming, we can reprogram the subconscious to find safety within ourselves rather than outsourcing that need for comfort to something external. Think of a toxic relationship or a toxic workplace. We stay because somewhere in us, we still believe in the indoctrination that someone above us knows better than we do. We forget to look inward. We forget that the safety we're chasing outside was always meant to be found inside of us all along. Real safety was never about certainty. It's the ability to be at peace with not knowing how life is going to unfold, to survive being wrong, to lose someone else's approval and still be okay, because you're no longer outsourcing your safety to them in the first place. And part of that is learning how to trust in the magic of the divine again. There is so much in this world that the human mind will never fully comprehend. But we've been trained by modern society to not trust our own intuition and hand over that trust to authority instead. Real safety is remembering how to trust yourself and trusting that the universe, God consciousness, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, has your back, even when you can't see the full picture. So ask yourself, what's one belief you're defending right now? And if it turned out to be untrue, what would you actually be afraid of losing? I hope you find this video insightful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching.